This is Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. Let's take a look at situations where we have a stock that has already moved and we are wondering whether we should chase. Here's an example of a stock that was trading at about, let's call it $11, $12 or so. And within a couple of weeks was trading at 22. So almost doubled in price within a month or so. Now, the question is, what do you do when you have such a big move? Well, it all depends on the minimum requirements. What I'm trying to say here is don't be too scared just because of the move. In fact, the move should be indication of potential. Not always, but if the minimum requirements are met, then you should not be scared to consider stocks that have already moved. Here we can see after about 1, 2, 3 days of rest, and I'm talking about these days right here. So we have a daily closing high, and then we have 3 days of rest below that daily closing high. So daily closing high, and then we have a couple of days where you close below that level. That becomes the rest period. And then we have this beautiful breakout here, which was on May 1st, 2020. Now that was a buy signal, and all you have to do is ignore this big move because you know that there was a rest period and now you're getting a fresh breakout. Now, I know this is oversimplification, but it's a quick video. I cover this in tons of videos in my personal website, but besides the point. So this is the buy right here based on the minimum rest period of more than 2 days. All right. Now, that's the daily. If we take a look at what it looked like from the monthly standpoint, so again, we go back to May the 1st, and you'll notice here, this is now what it looked like. And we have the minimum requirements here, and the minimum requirements, as you know, for those of you who are familiar with my work, we know that we are looking for the minimum requirements based on the ultimate Muathe Breakout method, which is my own researched method. What we have here is the RSI was above 69.1. That's great. And we also have one of the MACDs. In my settings, I have 2 MACD settings. And one of the MACDs was moving to 3-year highs, minimum 3-year highs. Here, it was actually moving to all-time highs. So at least more than 3 years at the very minimum. So this means that the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe breakout was met as of May 1st. Go back to that daily chart, and we can see that monthly chart was confirming that this was a good entry based on the minimum requirements being met on the big picture time frame, which is the monthly. All right, so that's your buy signal right there. Now, by the way, I should also point out the RSI on the daily also moved above 69.1, just showing you that there was more upside momentum even from the daily standpoint. And we can see that on the daily MACD, it was also moving to 3-year highs at the minimum. Now remember, the minimum requirements is based on the monthly chart. The monthly chart is the key. Now, if you take that bait, if you go long, if you buy the breakout and see what happens, sometimes breakouts fail. But if the minimum requirements are met and the conditions are conducive, you get a move similar to what has happened since. Now, the breakout we've been discussing was at the beginning of May. It was right here. And you can see that over the last month, the stock has doubled again in price. And if you go back, this was the move that it had initially staged. It moved here, settled down, and broke out again. So your entry was here as discussed, and that would have made you available for some of this move to the upside. Oh, and before I forget, just want to mention that we had this as a buy during the breakout right here around May 15th. So I sent out an alert to paid Muathe.com subscribers during this breakout right here. Again, the idea is don't be scared of past moves if the minimum requirements are met. Of course, I could see that the RSI was well above 69.1 even on the daily, which meant that there was a lot of momentum. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to show you the page where I had mentioned this for paid subscribers, just for those of you who might question that breakout alert. But we can see here, and this is for May 15th, and you can see right here was DKNG. In fact, let me go ahead and, that's a typo right there, so I apologize for that typo. But you can see again, the stock is mentioned here as a breakout as it moved above 26.30 as of May 15th. Now you have to understand, this is what I've done for years, 20 years, non-stop, full-time. So this is my job. So for those of you who don't have time to research momentum instruments, you know where to find me. Otherwise, let's continue with the conclusion of this video. So if the minimum requirements are met, don't be scared of recent big moves. This is Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. As always, good luck, peace, and blessings. EACS. Namaste.